So is the third eye a real thing? Good evening, guys. It is I, John, here in the studio about an hour and a half before I go live on the Live Loving live stream. And I thought I'd record a couple of videos tonight to push myself a little bit ahead in the queue. Let me read this comment that came in and give my response. What are your views on opening the third eye, or do we even believe in a third eye? I am a 70-year-old man and trying to touch the spirit side. I have as many loved ones on that side as this. If the third eye is a real thing, does it being opened really connect you with things that my human side hasn't yet? Thanks so much for trying to spread the knowledge of living a life. Blessings, Mark. Well, thank you, Mark. That's very kind of you to say that at the end there. Third eye, it's an interesting topic because when I first got into spirituality, third eye was a big thing for me. I really was trying to open my third eye. I even had a thing where I was trying to raise my consciousness and thought I saw an eye in my vision. And when I opened did the process of third eye opening, it was interesting because I saw all these horrific things, and it didn't make sense to me because it wasn't any of my beliefs. It was something really interesting. But at the time that I had quote unquote done that, I was a Catholic. I was really deep in that fear-based religion, and that was the imagery that kind of came through was this very fear-based imagery. When I talk about the third eye now, I think of that more along the lines of as a dogma, as one school of thought. It's part of their belief. For me, over all these years that I've been doing spiritual things, for me it always came down to stripping everything away, even the labels of third eyes and chakras and all of that stuff. For me, it has always come down to coming back to very present, very fearless. And you were asking about connecting with people from the other side. When I do private sessions with people, I never know what's going to come through. So people ask me to connect with their loved ones or whatever. I don't do that on demand because I can't do that on demand. I just open up to the oneness and whatever information comes through. And sometimes I get messages from people, and sometimes I get messages from source directly for the person, and sometimes I get ways to get people unstuck, and sometimes I get, as I had one the other day that was really very specific about a relationship the person was in. So I never know what's going to come through when I do a session like that, but the key to those sessions for me and connecting, as you're hoping to me has always been to set myself aside rather than trying to go through a third eye, which is a dogmatic ritual kind of experience. What I do is I exhale and I get very, very, very present. And I just feel what's going on. And what happens is when I put intention towards getting messages, words start to come into my head and I just write them down. And sometimes they're amazing. I've done over 600 of them this past year. And I think I've had one that I would say was not, on point for the person. A couple that seemed very generic, but the person really was at a point where that's what they needed to hear. And then I've had other ones that were super, super specific. But it's a matter of if you want to connect to the other side has no belief. There is no ritual, ceremony, or dogma. There is no system of chakras and third eyes. That's all man-made construct trying to find their way back to God. But God is never not there. The other side is never not there. You're the one who's away. And the way you come back to it is you have to set down all of your beliefs and come back to the place of just being in that loving space. Because I will tell you from experience, having crossed over 3 times, the other side is pure love. And I want to say pure twice because there's no words that really describe it. But if you want to experience your friends, the more you open to that just being present moment and fearless, exhaling, not thinking about anything in the world physically. That's the way you connect, because the things of the world are what blind us, or they're the veil that makes us not be able to see or experience. And so what you do is you simply exhale and just be in that moment. Now, if you want to connect with someone, get out your pad and paper. Think of the person. Someone who's crossed over, someone here living. Just think of the person and just exhale. Whatever word, no matter how weird, pops in your head, write it down. And you can't judge it, because if you judge it, you're going to mess it up. That's why I never judge anything I write. And I tell people that right up front. I don't judge what I write, and I just read it to you. I never read it again until I read it to the person, because if I were to read it again in between that, I might get a preconceived notion. To me, it has to come from that. Whatever came through, came through. And for your third eye awakening, it literally is get very present moment, get completely fearless, and release your thoughts of the world. There is no method, modality, technique, or spiritual idea that you need to connect. Connection's always there. But all of those techniques and methods and modalities and ideas are the things that keep us in the physical. You've got to release it all. The Bible literally says you must be born again. It literally says you must become as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. If you want to touch the other side, you've got to release everything physical, including spiritual dogmas and political dogmas and religious dogmas and all the ideas, your fears, your anxieties. Set it all down, because that's how you connect with your friends. I hope that makes sense, and you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.